You can join stream. Suddenly some problem came, so I just quit. Now again I have joined. So come on, go for it. Let's start the session, please. Let's talk about eukaryotic and prokaryotic organisms. So I'm just going to start the content with a very small introduction we are going to give. First thing is, in cell chapter, we are going to talk about unicellular and multicellular organisms. We are going to talk about organelles. We are going to talk about the discovery of cells, and we are going to talk about endocytosis and what you call exocytosis. We are going to talk about the different contents associated with it. Okay, fine. So shall we start our work, please? So please kindly join the session as fast as possible. Wait, I'm going to share the link with the students so that they can join fast. Come fast, come fast. Fine, beta. So let's start the session. Please kindly understand the cell is the basic structure and functional unit of living organism. So when we talk about living organisms, there are different category of living organism: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. So if somebody will be talking about unicellular organisms, we can say that the single-celled organism means they're only having one single cell and they are living. They are called as unicellular organism. What about multicellular organisms? Those organisms which are having multiple cells in their body, they are called as multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms, they are categorized as what? So unicellular organisms, if somebody you will be asking about, okay, so microscopic organisms are considered as unicellular organisms, and another name what we are giving to unicellular organisms are prokaryotes. What we are calling it as prokaryotes. And what about eukaryotes? If we are going to talk about eukaryotes, eukaryotes is multicellular organisms. I hope you might have understood this part. So cell is exactly the basic fundamental unit of life. Now, if somebody will be asking you how many cells, so human body is formed of how many different type of cells? 200 different type of cells. That's an assumptive part. Means we are exactly assuming like 200 different. So more than 200 different type of cells may be present there. Okay. So we cannot say with guarantee that only 200 different. More than 200 approximated. Okay. Did you understood this part? So our body is exactly made with cells. Cells are the basic fundamental unit of life. Got it? Now, second important point when we talk about cells are that some organisms are unicellular, some organisms are multicellular. So, unicellular organisms are those organisms which are having single cell. Multicellular organisms are those organisms which are having multiple amount of cells in their body. I hope you might have got this point. Come on, say. Understood. So now we will go for the next one. So those children who have joined the session, please kindly write your name and inform that you are present in the group. So now plant cells and animal cells. So we are going to categorize two different type of cells. So one we will be talking about the cells will be chiefly divided into two different type of cells: plant cells and animal cells. Okay, Bhavya. Good evening, Bhavya. Good evening. Okay, good evening, Sam. Some problem came, so only I quit that part and I rejoined it. Okay, fine. Now come on, go for the live button and then you start the session, please. It will be good for you. Okay. Yes, I little bit problem. I forgot that part. Okay. Now animal cell and plant cell. Now we will be talking about unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. If somebody will talk about unicellular organisms, unicellular organisms are those organisms who are having single cells. So we are going to talk about division of labor also. So if somebody will be talking about division of labor, so division of labor means what? you are having house, and in your house different type of works are there. So different type of works are distributed to different type of people. Now all the work you are not doing, because you are not supposed to do all the work, you will not be able to do all the work. So division of labor is exactly one of the important factor for living cells also. The living cells also do work, like you need to understand that kidney cells, heart cells, liver cells, brain cells, all different type of cells are doing different type of work. So if somebody will ask you what is the primal work of a kidney cell, you will say filtration of blood. Understood? What is the basic factor for a heart cell is for pumping. They are very, very elastic. So they are having rhythmic contraction and relaxation. So understood? So pericardium, we are knowing that, okay, the outer layer is pericardium, and it is exactly doing what? It is very flexible and elastic. It will keep on having contraction and relaxation, so that rhythmic contraction and relaxation will allow the heart to beat, and it will allow the blood to circulate into entire body system. I hope you might have understood. So different type of cells are having different type of functions. I hope you might have understood this one. So single cell, there is no division of labor, but multicellular organisms are having division of labor. Understood? So 2 to 3 points are the most important point you must remember and you must note down. Okay, and you keep with you, so that if somebody will ask you what is the difference between unicellular organism and multicellular. Unicellular organism, no division of labor. Means one cell itself is doing all the work. Means boss is only one single cell. Understood? But in multicellular organism, the division of work is there. Okay, so different cells are doing different type of activities. Second important point is unicellular organisms are simple, primitive. They are not so having complex structural design. But multicellular organisms, there is a system, a complex system is there, which is exactly working together in the form of coordinating part. I hope you might have understood. I hope online children might have understood this part of coordination. Okay, the coordination is a well established section for a multicellular organism. Now reproduction. When we talk about reproduction, unicellular organism, the unicellular organisms are exactly called as what you call daughters. They will be exactly one parent cell will be there, and they will have a what you call asexual mode of reproduction, and they will split into two, or multiple splitting can be possible. Understood? That in class 10th you are going to study about. I'm not going to discuss that part. But multicellular organisms, there are specific organs which are specialized for reproduction, and they are involved in reproduction. So that's part also, that section also is a well defined. I'm doing little bit rapid revision because I cannot go little slow. I have to go little fast because we need to revise the chapter in a very small short. I have to. So reproduction consumes the single cell. Reproduction consumes the single cell. Here reproduction is not consuming, means a multicellular organisms will not die. Understood? The parent cell will get converted into daughter cell of, that's exactly in the unicellular organism. Means the parent will vanish for a unicellular organism, but for multicellular organism there is no such case. Parents are existing, and a new life in the form of zygote will be formed, and then a new cell, after the cell beginning, multiple cells will be forming, and then we know embryo and different phases of the child, and then it will come into as a new net, a new born baby will be exactly called that. Fine. So now we will be going for cell biology. So we are talking about the cell biology, who is called as the father of this, who was the mental person who exactly first time coined the word this cell. Huh? Robert Hooke. So let's think about something. So exactly when we are talking about Robert Hooke, understood, we are a little bit fast we are going. So when we are talking about Robert Hooke, was one thing we must know about Robert Hooke, that he has exactly done his, he was not having a very sophisticated microscope. Understood or not? A very simple compound microscope he had made on himself. Understood? So he invented cell or he discovered cell? This is my question. Come on, answer my question. He discovered or invented? Come on, say the answer. Discovered. Can we discover cell or invent cell? We cannot invent, we can only discover, because discovery is in our hand, invention is not in our hand. Understood? No. About living creature, invention is not our hand. Machine we can invent, a device we can invent, but we cannot discover a device. The same way, the living creatures, we cannot invent. Understood? Yeah, invention is there in a way, but I'll not go about it now. We will be exactly going to go change the topic and we'll go that different section. So now he's called as the study and the structure and the function part. He studied the discovery of cell was the total primal work by Robert Hooke, and he discovered cell, and he was exactly he took a very thin cork cell, and from there only he discovered cell. Okay, now this was his microscope what he has. With the help of this only he saw the honeycomb structure. 1665, in the year 1665, in the year 1665, in the year 1665, third time I'm saying, in the year 1665. Okay, no mention. It's my duty to explain. Okay, now listen. So discovery of cells. So in the year 1665, he has exactly discovered a cell. Accidentally, we can say that whatever discovery happened, it happened for a other aspects were there, and something we were expecting something else, and something else came out. Okay, now fine, just understand this one. So 1665 he has discovered it. Now this was his microscope, and it was self-made microscope. If you see here, you will be seeing that no mention yet. This is my duty. Now look here. So here, this is exactly the microscope, and the lenses. What was made was everything. He has made this sophisticated part for understanding. Okay, fine. I think I've mentioned this. So this is exactly the honeycomb cellular structure of the cork, what he has seen from his microscope. Understood? I hope I have explained it well. But after that, there was a series of discoveries. Understood? Now, these type questions are coming very nicely in NEET examination or any other competitive platform. Now, you will be seeing these type of questions, and these type of questions are most important part. We must know these things. Okay. The most important thing is you must know all these things. So I'm reading one time and I'm explaining this. In 1674, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch microscopist, made an improvised microscope. Improvised means a little more design plus what you called magnification, everything improvised thing he has made. And in that, he discovered free living cells in pond water for the first time in the year 1674. Come on, can you say which year? 1665. 1665, Robert Hooke did that. Now 1674. See, it's like, you know what, when we start something, we just need a setup. Understood? So first time when Robert Hooke talked about cell, yes, when Robert Hooke talked about cell, that was a new concept. Got it? So when we say something new, na, it may be accepted, it may be rejected. Understood or not? But when he gave some most important conclusive answers, after that there was a very big group of people who were busy in understanding that what can we do more about it. See, we search the world, but sometimes what happens, when we try to learn something new, something which is beyond our understanding, that time learning becomes more and more progressive. Understood? So that time also same thing started. They started learning, and they started. Siddharth, what happened? Can you explain it in Hindi? That's little bit difficult work. um, I'll try to. My name is Khushbu. Okay, now listen. So what is exactly done there, that improvised part has started, and they started learning more. Okay, if this is a cell, means there must be something inside. Got it? If it is living or dead. So like that, series after series, understanding started, and understanding knowing part started. So here, first Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1674, specifically 1665, Robert Hooke, 1674, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, nearly near 9 years. Okay, so what he did, he made some improvised microscope, and in that what he did is he discovered what he understood some part. Let's see, we'll focus into that. So if MCQ questions will come, you will be the one who can answer. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch microscopist, made an improvised microscope, used this microscope to discover the free living cells in pond water. Where? Free living cells in pond water. Okay. Now next one, Robert Hooke only saw the thickened cell of the cell. So thickness of means see outer, the honeycomb structure what we're talking about now. Robert Hooke only saw the outer part of that. Okay. Okay, full chapter. So I'll try to finish it as fast. After that, the Scottish botanist that is called as Robert Brown. If you want to know about Robert Brown, you just understand that Robert Brown in 1831 discovered nucleus of plant cell. He discovered what? Nucleus of plant cell. Nucleus. Robert Hooke, cell. Robert Brown, nucleus. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, free cells in pond. And then Scottish botanist Robert Brown, we did, and J.E. Perkins in 1839, he gave the word called as protoplasm. Can anybody type and send me what is the meaning of protoplasm? What is the meaning of protoplasm, if you can say? What is the meaning of protoplasm? What is the meaning of protoplasm? Can you say? What is protoplasm? Okay, I'll not waste more time. Protoplasm is cytoplasm and nucleus together is called as protoplasm. Understood? In a cell, cytoplasm is exactly the fluid part of the cell. Understood? And inside is nucleus. So nucleus is cytoplasm, the fluid part of the cell, and nucleus together is called as protoplasm. I hope this description is enough for you. We will go talk about Haeckel. Haeckel established that the nucleus was responsible for storing and transmitting hereditary information. That's one of the most important point. Yes, protoplasm, I hope you have understood all the living content in the cell. That's the nucleus and the what you call cytoplasm together is called as protoplasm, the living part of the cells. Okay. In 1838, Jacob Matthias Scleden and Skivan. See, we know the words Scleden and Skivan. Scleden and Scleden and Skivan. So when we talk about Scleden and Skivan, they have given cell theory. I'm sorry. They have given cell theory. Can anybody explain what is cell theory, please? The online children. Can you tell about cell theory? Can you explain about cell theory, please? Come on, I have given you the room to explain about cell theory. See, you need to understand that the cell theory gives or focuses. See, first thing is that Scleden and Skivan, many students, they are having this misconception that Scleden and Skivan, together they have given cell theory and their content was together. No, Scleden is from different countries, Skivan is from different part. They have given cell theory in two different places. But the most important part of their concept is exactly written together. That's the most important thing we must remember here. Okay. So Scleden and Skivan are the two different things. Don't join their name, but together they have given cell theory. Amrish, can you tell me about cell theory? What is exactly there in the cell theory? You can read out, but I'll be explaining in the most simple way. I'll explain. I'm giving you the time to read out. I'm just moving out, but in a most precise way, I'll be explaining it. So anyone who can type, you can type in the shortest way. In the cell theory, all organisms are composed of cells. Okay, polarizing from pre-existing cells. Okay, fine. Next, cell theory means all living beings are composed of cells, are made with cells. See, who is the boss of your life? Come on, say. I just want to ask one simple question. Who is the boss of your life? Cell is the boss of your life. No, all the necessary decisions are taken by you. See, somebody will be telling you, do this, do that. Correct now? But all the necessary decisions are taken by you only. Got it? So when we do some things, we are taking all the primary decisions on our own. On our own. So here what we are doing here is we are talking about cells means the cell is the fundamental unit of life and the cell is doing the most proper work. Mother and father are the one who is taking decisions. That's the very noble answer you have given. Hats off to you. Now understand, whatever decisions are taken, me is the boss. Yes, the thing here is, here we need to understand one very important thing, that the most important, see, that is fright, flight and fight. Three F's are there in life: flight, fright and fight. Got it? Fright, get fear. Flight means run away. Fight is fighting. Means these three decisions are taken. Yeah, fundamental. See, you need to understand that once a cell is made from the pre-existing cells, like the father and mother are the contributor of DNAs and the informations, and genetically they are the one who has given you DNA. Understood? But once the DNA is made, now the zygote formation, and from the zygote formation to multicellular organism, and from that, multiple cells, and then conversion of different states like embryonic stage, neonate, you miss a newly born baby, and then coming in on earth as a new individual. Once you start learning or adopting on earth, all the fundamental decisions are taken by you. Correct now? All the fundamental decisions are taken by you. So cells are the same way doing some very specific work. What are the very specific work done by cells? Most of the organelles, they know what is their duty. They are the very highly classified work doing. Means, see, like in your factory, industry, hospitals and different place, there is an organization which is working. Understood? So there is not only one person, there is a full group who is working together, and so only that place is called as a classified workplace. Understood? In the same way, the cells are having organelles, and these organelles are doing their specific functions. And because of these functions, the group of cells will make tissues, the group of tissues will make organ, the group of organs will make organ system, and these organ systems are making exactly the human body. Understood? And we together are making community, and together communities are making state, states are making country, countries are making continent, and that's what is the contribution. Understood? So now all metabolic reactions take place in cell. So cells are the structure and fundamental. So first thing I just got deviated. So all organisms are composed of cells. So cells are the basic unit. Metabolic things are exactly done inside the cell. The third, yes, okay. You are, yeah, you can have. Go down and do one. Okay, fine. Now listen. So pre-existing cells. So all the cells are exactly arise from the pre-existing cell. Understood? So we cannot be evolved. We are not evolved. We are exactly in one phase evolution or variation. That's a very huge terms we cannot be using for cell. It takes millions of years for a cell or a new species to come. Got it? So we have understood this concept. In short, I am just explaining. So all cells arise from pre-existing cell. No cell can originate spontaneously. Yes, this is the fact about it. See, the generation, the formation, everything takes millions of years. Can we go back to the next topic, please? So now we are going to see two different type of microscopes are there. See, sophisticated microscope. The first microscope, organelles will be there, cytoplasm will be there, fats, lipid, proteins are there, lysosomes are there, different things are there. I'm going to discuss about that. I'm going to discuss everything, trust me, because today time is not there, very less time. I have already explained nearly 7 to 8 or 10 classes of cell I have taken. Now everything I'm compiling in one single shot and explaining you. So definitely I'll be a little rapid. Okay, sorry, little fast I have to explain, Siddharth. Now listen. There are two different type of cells. One is there are two different type of microscopes. One microscope will be compound microscope and one will be electron microscope. Did you understood it? There are two different type of microscopes. One will be compound and second one is electron microscope. Now I am asking you one question. Can you answer me? In which microscope I can check the living cells? A little short. Let's see online students who is going to answer this. Which one? Living one, which one you can check? Say, living cells. Compound or electron? The magnification state is highest in which one? Yes, absolutely correct, Siddharth. What about the other children? They are just listening. You need to answer. See, if you are in the pace, then only you will be understanding what I'm speaking. But if you will not be listening, then you will not be able to understand anything. So compound microscope and electron microscope. So difference between electron microscope and compound microscope, in my material, you will get everything, you know. I have exactly explained everything in a very precise way. So now listen. So light microscope or compound microscope, they are using beam of light. But the one which is electron microscope, they are using beam of electrons. They are using, there is a light microscope or compound microscope, you can say. They both are same only. Okay, fine. Now listen. Now use of beam of light means approx nanometer. How much it is? 400 to 700 is most approximated. And here you will be seeing lower magnification. There higher magnification is there. So you can have limitless means SS will be more for electron microscope. Okay, it is using glass lenses and it is using electromagnet. We can check in open and that is exactly total vacuum. It has to be a closed system. Understood? Electron microscope is vacuum is not required. So vacuum here it is vacuum is not required, but for electron microscope vacuum is required. Understood? Now next one is no risk of radiation leakage. But there, since electrons are responsible, so there is a risk of radiation leakage. Understood? Next is specimen preparation takes place a few minutes. Here now we will make some slides, and after slide making, which part samajh nahi aaya? Can you explain it? I'll just explain another time. Yes, so compound microscope, one more time I'm just going to explain about, there are two different type of microscopes, beta. One is called as compound or light microscope, another type is called as electron microscope. In electron, you cannot take this simple living specimen for electron microscope. They are very highly magnification is very high in electron microscope. Here magnification is quite low, so living cell structure study if we want, we can go for compound microscope. Here vacuum is not required, just take a slide and just go inside and just check that. Okay, magnification. Here vacuum is required. Radiation, because electrons are involved in electron microscope and their range is very high, so definitely there is a risk of radiation. Okay, so here specimen preparation takes place few seconds. Here it will be several days. So whatever specimen you are making in electron microscope, to check in electron microscope, it has to be ready. It will take time to make it ready. Okay, now both live and dead specimens can be used, but in electron microscope, if we will be checking, it will be all dead cells. Understood? Dead cells, dead specimens, they can be studied under that part. I hope you might have understood there. The image formation depends upon light absorption. Their image formation depends upon electron scattering. So there are many factors. Then you need to understand, right now I don't have that much time to explain beta, but the thing here is, when we talk about radiation, see, it's like radioactive rays were there and these electrons are highly moving charged particles are there, that they will be exactly if leaked. It's not like we cannot use electron microscope. We can use electron microscope for a highly specified work. We are doing that, we can do it. Okay, but when time and place means what we are using it for, that is also very important now. So if we want to check a very important, yes, we want to check a very important thing, then we are definitely going for electron microscope. We are preparing the slides and we are waiting for it and we are allowing the things to go through it so that we can get a very highly, I hope you might have understood. So we get more information in that. So now the image is seen through the lens, and here it is received on zinc sulfate fluorescence screen. So one is exactly on lens, no screen needed here, their screen is needed. So we have just understood, see this much question they are not asking in NCERT do not have this. So at least we came to know that two different type of microscopes are there. What are the? Electron microscope and compound microscope, where one is using lens, another one is using electrons. Understood? So one living cells, one is, there are many differences I've given. Now we are going to go towards prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Yes, we are in that range where we can talk about prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms. So when we talk about prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms, let's see, just give me a few seconds. Yes, done. Now look here, is it visible now? Can you tell me? Good evening. Yes, slide will be, sorry, this PPT will be, yes, for, yeah. Tomorrow I'll be, sorry, today also manager will provide you. Okay. Now look here. We have many slides. We have many, what you call PPTs. We can distribute to students, no problem at all. Now look here. Now please here, understand this. So size of the cell is, so prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So can prokaryotic, when we are talking about prokaryotic is exactly single cell, eukaryotic is multiple cells. So I already explained about unicellular, multicellular. So size of the cell will be generally small, and there the size of the cell is generally large. So next is nucleus is absent, nucleus is present, and it is surrounded by nuclear membrane. First you need to understand one thing, that nucleus is absent means what? That is nuclear region or nucleoid is not surrounded by nuclear membrane. So you need to understand that a nucleus is having a nuclear envelope. When we talk about it, nuclear envelope, so double membrane content will be surrounding the nucleus. That is exactly called as nuclear envelope. That will be not present in prokaryote. Understood? Because we can say it is not well defined. More time I will take if I will start explaining this. So I'll just make it short. It contains single chromosomes, but there it will be more. Okay, it contains more than one chromosomes. The chromatin, the thread-like structures which are called as chromatin, that will be present inside this eukaryotic cells. Membrane-bound organelles will be there. Nucleolus is absent, but there nucleolus is present. 3 to 4 points to remember now. 3 to 4 points to remember. That is enough for you. Understood? To write the content for 3 marks question, you must remember 3 to 4 easy pick points. Okay, we catch easy pick points, and just so that the answer will look very good also, and the teacher won't be able to cut that. That's the two important focus you should have. First, which one is simple? Pro. Which one is exactly having, which one is smaller size? Pro. Which one is bigger size? You. Understood? Nucleus is present where? U. Next, it contains more than one chromosomes. U. Understood? And there nucleus is present. Here nucleolus is present. Here nucleolus is absent. So if you are very smart, remember one, which and all good qualities are there. Second one, you just say no, 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 no. That's it. One is yes, one is no. That's it. Finished. One chromosome, more chromosome, nucleolus present, nucleolus absent. Like that you remember, it will work for you. Okay. This I am teaching for class 9 beta. They are having test tomorrow, so I am doing that work. Cell division takes place by fission or budding, mitosis, and there cell division is exactly taking mitosis and meiosis. One day I'll be explaining, I'll take a very important class of mitosis and meiosis, because most of the students are having confusion about mitosis and meiosis, and mitosis and meiosis is a part of your syllabus. You must know what is mitosis, what is meiosis, binary fission, and everything you must know about cell. Okay, fine. So, but one thing right now we are going to talk about here, membrane bound cell organelles are absent. Membrane bound cell organelles. What is the meaning of membrane bound cell organelles? Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of membrane bound cell organelles? Membrane bound cell organelles. Come on, say. Membrane bound cell organelles. One more time. Come on, go for it. Membrane bound means the organelles are covered with membrane. Understood? Like you just understand, one apple I gave you in your hand and one apple I gave you in polythene. Which one will be more safe? Plants are having cell wall, animal cells are not having cell wall. You need to understand one thing. So when we talk about membrane bound organelles, means the organelles are nicely covered or enveloped with membrane. That is the protective layers. The protective layers, that is exactly called as membrane bound organelles. I hope you might have understood this part. So the eukaryotes are having membrane bound organelles, prokaryotes are not having membrane bound organelles. Many different, so 4-5 different specific points we have discussed. Come on, now this is exactly about prokaryote. So nice. This is exactly flagella. The flagella is having very specific work. It helps in the movement. Okay, and that is eukaryotic. So cilia, flagella, they're unicellular. Okay, so now we will go for the next one. So we are going to define it with two different sections. The cells will be either prokaryote or eukaryote. So prokaryotic organisms, where they belongs to bacteria and archaebacteria. You must know one thing. The archaebacteria are the most primitive bacteria. The first living cells present came on earth was archaebacteria. Understood? The first life origination, it came on earth was archaebacteria, eubacteria, cyanobacteria, what bacteria word you are going to use, they were there. And one more important thing, they were chemotrophs. Okay, no phototrophs or nothing, heterotrophs, autotrophs. They were chemotrophs. What is the meaning of chemotrophs? Chemical taking organisms are called as chemotroph. See, there are some categories where we are defining it as, but we will be understanding it as a chemotroph. What is the meaning of chemotroph? Chemical taking organisms, specifically what you call acid, and that contains, that time is not there, but that is exactly called as what, beta? Chemotrophs. Did you understood both of you, beta? In little fast I am explaining, but next chapters what I'll teach in ease. Okay, we don't have too much time now. Eukaryotes, protista, plant, animal, fungi, all different type of groups are coming under eukaryotes, and they are exactly considered as multicellular organisms. Now can we see the different type of cells? We have very less part, so just understand atoms, lipids, proteins. These are exactly the size and the algorithm through which we can see a pace and improvement in the living creatures. I hope you might have understood this one. So now I have to start the question sessions. So now we will be going towards protoplasm, cytoplasm and protoplasm. So yes, shall we start about cytoplasm and protoplasm? Actually, what is the difference between cytoplasm and protoplasm? What is cytoplasm and protoplasm? See, three important basic points you must remember. If accidentally also somebody will ask you cytoplasm and right now, just understand this. So one by one, I'll explain you how to remember these 3 points. First one is, it consists of jelly-like substance called cytosol and all cells organelles. That is called as cytoplasm. So in simple way, if I can explain it, like I'm nothing, I don't know anything, I will say that it is sambar. I'm sorry, I'm explaining it like a sambar. Why? Because in sambar, different type of vegetables are floating. So cytoplasm is like that only. Why? Because different type of important organelles are floating on it. So it is considered as what? Cytoplasm. Understood? The fluid part of the cell is called as cytoplasm, and the most important organelles are exactly floating on it. Understood? So here the specified words are exactly correct only. So it consists of jelly-like substance called cytosol and all cell organelles. The fluid part, jelly-like substance, and all the cell organelles. I hope you might have understood this one. It is exactly consists of cytosol, cell organelle, along with the nucleus. I told you now what is the meaning of protoplasm. Protoplasm is cytoplasm plus nucleus together. Cytoplasm is the only fluid part. Protoplasm is cytoplasm and nucleus together. Understood? So nucleus is also in the part of protoplasm, but cytoplasm is only the fluid content we are talking about. I hope you might have understood this one. Come on, we'll go for the next topic. After this, it is made up of water and structure filament, but it is made with cytoplasm and nucleoplasm and nucleus. So all nucleoplasm, the nuclear fluid part. The nucleus fluid part is called as nucleoplasm. nucleoplasm, protoplasm. It means cytoplasm, nucleoplasm, and nucleus together is called as protoplasm. But this is water and structure filament. Understood? Now it is one of the constituent of protoplasm, but this part is not one of the constituent. It is exactly the bigger one than that. Okay. Now it is semi-solid material present between nucleus and the cell membrane, but it is the living substance of the cell and is surrounded by cell membrane because it is constituting both the parts. Now, so cytoplasm is a bigger part rather than protoplasm is a bigger one because it is consisting of nucleus and together. Fine. Now we are going to talk about gene. Okay, now we are just touching one gene section, protoplasm and cytoplasm. We need to understand one thing. See, before cell division, if anybody will ask you about this, you understand one thing. There are two different type of cells present in the human body. One is, say, red blood cell, white blood cell are part of cells of the blood. That is a different thing. Did you ever heard about somatic cells? Germ cells and somatic cells. Somatic cells and germ cells. Come on, you can do it. Somatic cells and germ cells. Somatic cells and germ cells, boss. Can you tell me about this? So if somebody will be asking you about somatic cells are non-reproductive cells, but germ cells are the reproductive cells that take part in sexual reproductions are called as germ cells. The somatic cells are not having the that content. Understood? So that's that. One is haploid and one is diploid. One is haploid and diploid. Somatic cells are exactly diploid and germ cells are haploid. Germ cells are exactly what? Haploid. If I'll be getting time means I'll make more videos related to it. It will be more understandable for you. But you need to understand why I am discussing about this because distinct unit of hereditary informations. We know that from the parent the informations are exactly going to the children, the offsprings. Okay. Now, you need to understand that the children are the genetic imprint of their parents. Okay, 50% coming from the father side and 50% coming from the mother side. So, genetic informations are coming 50% from whom? Father side and 50% from mother side. So, this is exactly the combination. Now, from mother side, 25% from mother's and sister side, and 25% from mother owned, and father 25% from father owned, and 25% from father forefather side. That's the combination. Okay, like 50-50. Mother 50, father 50. In mother side, 25 from mother and 25 from mother generations means their her father, forefather, and here 25 and 25 that side. I hope you might have understood this one, beta. Now we will go for the next one. It is distinct unit of hereditary information. Gene is inherited from one generation to the next and it determines an observable characteristics or trait of an organism. Yes. If in simple, I will say that a cat puppy will be looking like a cat only, na? Why? Because the genetic imprint is there. Got it? The human child will be looking like human only. Understood? The plant after reproduction, the seeds are there. The seeds are when it is growing, it is resembling the same plant only. Understood? So why? Because genetic imprints are there. These imprints are exactly carrying forward the species. I hope you might have understood that part. So it is exactly determining the next observable characteristics and they are carrying the coded information. That's what I called as genetic imprint. The coded information will be there and from one generation to another. See, I'm not defining here variations and all because I'm teaching in classroom also. I'm teaching in classroom. I'm having offline and online classes also. Do you understand one thing? Cytoplasm is the fluid part of the cell. In simple, understand better. Cytoplasm is the fluid part of the cell, and protoplasm means cytoplasm. Just do this one. When you are not understanding in a very simple tone, try to understand that this is exactly a cell and this is the nucleus. So this is the fluid part of the cell that is called as cytoplasm. In this only, mitochondria will be there, Golgi apparatus will be there, lysosomes will be there, understood? Rough endoplasmic reticulum will be there, smooth endoplasmic reticulum will be there, everything will be present inside this part. And these are the fluid part. The cytoplasm is the fluid part, in that all the organelles will be present. Okay, so this is cytoplasm beta. Now what is protoplasm? When we take this nucleus and cytoplasm together, then it is called as protoplasm. I hope now it is clear to you. I hope now it is clear to you what is the difference between protoplasm and cytoplasm. Come on, say fast. That's the easy concept. No problem. Sometimes it's like we need to understand. We are human only. It takes time to understand. Don't say thank you. It's my duty only, beta. Now listen. So now we have to understand that gene have to carry coded information. So only I told you, na, the cat puppy will be looking like cat only. The human will be looking like human only. The human child will be. Why? Because genetic coded imprints will be there. The gene is there. The gene is the one who is carrying the genetic informations. So actually, like a small story I will tell, you will understand like this. So before reproduction, na, every cells will have chromatins. The thread-like structures are called as chromatin. Understood? So before reproduction, what happens? The chromatin will get converted into a coiled chromosome. Understood? For human, 23 pairs of chromosomes will be there. 22 pairs will be for other body characteristic. 23rd will be for gender, like male or female. Understood? So this chromatin thread, which is present in the nucleus, will wind up together with histones, the protein particle, and they will be the one who will be making with the DNA thread. This chromatins will be exactly, wait, I'll show you this one. Oh, you see this one. If I might have this part more complex one, organ system, I think second part only is there. I have explained this in class one time. So these are exactly what? These are RNA, ribonucleic acid, and DNA, deoxyribonucleic DNA will be there. Anyone having any question, you just ask. Deoxyribonucleic acid is DNA, ribonucleic acid, the single strand and the double strand. Okay, so single is ribo, double is DNA. Understood? So this DNA constants will be exactly the chromatin thread, like will be having the DNA content, and that histone picture I don't have right now. I'll show you in another file, it is there. So we have learned there that 4 pair of histone up, 4 and 4 down. So actually this, I'll just draw it if possible. I'm trying to draw this one, just children understand this. These chromatins are thread-like structures. Okay. Now what they do is, before reproduction, these thread-like structures, so histones are like this, 4 up, 4 down. So this thread will wind up the histone, and this winding up of histone will, and after winding, it is just like knitting. When how you are knitting the sweater now, you are in which place? I am in Chennai, beta. I am in Anupuram. Okay, whatever is the help from my side, I'll 100% cooperate with you. Don't worry about that. So now, beta, you understood. So it will wind up together, and they will be exactly making chromosome, centromere, telomere, everything. This is exactly the structure of a chromosome. This is exactly chromosome. Like this, how many pair of chromosomes will be there? 23 pairs of chromosome. So surprisingly, our fees is not that much. We are teaching our best in less. How much needed, we are taking that much only, beta. So now listen. And this is exactly called as what, beta?